Want me to do music?
If that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey. Good morning, Paul. Welcome to 2026. And we've got a slightly different order of service this morning. And I'm here to chair for our guest medium, Mr. Lawrence Saville, all the way from Paul. And it's a pleasure for me to chair this first service of the year. And the reason being is I'm going to just introduce the difference that we're going to be doing. Typically, we do an order of service where we have healing, philosophy, and a mediumship. And a couple of months ago on the Lyceum that Lawrence was holding, the lovely Esmeralda from the Netherlands asked the question why we have the order of service the way we do. And typically, it's one of those things where, well, it's always been that way. But the idea with the philosophy first is that we explain the mediumship before we do it, so that people here for the first time understand what to expect. And so I'm going to do a little introduction. When it comes to mediumship, we're looking for pieces of information that identify the communicator. And we're also looking for pieces of information that they share, showing that they are aware of events that happened since they passed. And that's the real critical piece of information. And what happens is a medium will finish the service, we'll do the closing prayer, and we'll do the notices. And then when the medium leaves, someone always comes up afterwards and thanks them for one of the messages. And more often than not, they'll expand on some of the evidence, but it's lost on the service. The medium gets nice feedback, but it'd be nice to see that go around in the service as well. So we're going to do the opening prayer, healing, and then the mediumship. So when Lawrence does come to you, I think most of you know that you answer with a yes, a no, or I don't. Maybe. Very well trained. So after the mediumship, what we're going to do is just go over some of the messages and don't feed the medium while he's working. But when we come to the end of the mediumship, if there's any of those pieces of evidence that you might be able to expand on, I've had someone come up to me and show me a photograph of their mother exactly as they were described afterwards. So these things, they kind of really enhance the mediumship. We're not trying to tell you how to take it, but we just want to expand on it and give it more colour and more life. And then we'll follow on with the philosophy. And it will be very interesting to see how the philosophy that Lawrence has chosen will marry up with the service that follows on before that. So with that said, I'm going to ask Lawrence if he can open us in prayer. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Stephen. If I could just expand, Stephen and I have been working very closely together on this. I've handed over the order of service to Stephen, who's come up with a wonderful job, and again inspired by the lovely comments that we've received on our Lyceum. It's also to bring in this aspect of spiritualism. It is not all about the message. All right? And when we look at our classical divine services, the format, it's like this big build up to the message and then go home. Yeah? It's not all about the message. It's part of what we do. So the philosophy at the end will bring inspiration that you can take with you. For people, and it doesn't matter if it's your first time here, welcome, or you've been coming many times. It's always good to understand, because we're all nosy, aren't we? Who's not nosy? Excellent. To understand a little bit more of the magnitude of what happens. And I don't use that word lightly or dramatically. It is. If I open my door tomorrow, my mum and dad were stood there. Oh my God, what an amazing thing that would be. Yeah? In these services, with the communication, it is part of what we do. So it's to try and bring in this more of a different balance aspect, a different way of approaching our spiritualism. Some may like it, some may not. That's fine. Do you know what? If we don't do things because somebody may not like it, what's going to happen? Nothing. So, with that, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll shut up now. Sorry. So if you could just join me now. And when we say join us with our opening prayers, please don't think, this is, I've got to be holier than thou, I've got to be this, I've got to be that. Prayer is a natural expression. Prayer is you talking to your God of your understanding. All right, if you picture him as a big bloke sat on a throne, fine. If you picture him as a tree, fine. It is entirely personal. So when we have these opening prayers, when we have this coming together, what we're doing is we're uniting this energy. All you wonderful people here have brought your energy, your presence here today. And that will make the service. The service isn't something we pull out of a bag. It's not something we take off a shelf. We don't know what's going to happen until we stand up here. Spirit do. Spirit have got a hand in all this. They know, and that's fine. And we trust, don't we? We trust that things will flow. So when we come into this part of prayer, prayer is a very personal thing. We understand that. Prayer is between you and your conscience, your God of your understanding. And it is purely that, and it's expressing that. When we unite in prayer, if your thoughts just gel, just blend with what's being said and with the feeling. And could I just ask, please, I keep hearing a lot of dings and things. Please turn your phones off. Yeah, thank you. Prayer is just that invocation. It's to bring that presence and to harmonise. So in and through those thoughts, we ask this day that we are gathered here on the cusp of this new year. Let us face this year with a glad heart. Let us face this year not fearful of what we perceive to be wrong, but balanced with that which we know to be right. When we look into the eyes of our children, our friends, our families, when we see the beauty and grace of Mother Nature around us, even at this time of year, let us take heart, and let us take that knowledge that all is well, all is exactly where it should be, and we are complete, we are one, we are at home with the universe and our soul within. And in and through that connection, we join together today, all this energy, this presence, these beautiful people who have survived a lifetime, to be here today, to stand proud and to say, I am. So with that thought, we thank you. And we lay this time now into the hands of those who are gathered even now, to bring about the truth, the honesty, the love and the healing that we represent within this movement. Amen.
Amen. And so if you could all join us in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. And we go into the healing part of the service. And healing is a wonderful energy. It's not given to just specific people, but it's for everyone. To sit for a few moments in your own energy and your own power. Ask for healing for yourself, for clear insights in your mind. And as you sit in that beautiful energy, if there's anyone you would like to think of, who would like to be remembered for healing, All you have to do is just raise your hand, and when I come to you, please just call out their names. That's all that's necessary. So just take a few moments to sit in that beautiful light and energy. Feel the awesome spirit of your own self. Sit in that beautiful energy of healing. Feel that love from spirit and love from yourself. Imagine that beautiful light going out where it's needed the most. We ask the healing angels and ministers to take those energies and use them with the intelligence of spirit to bring peace to mind, body and soul for all mankind, all nature and all life. Amen. Now we're going to move into the mediumship. So if Lawrence does come to you, you understand. Please don't feed him information, but just give a clear yes, no, or maybe. And just remember that the spirit world are trying to identify who they are, but they want to let you know that they are with you. They're going to give you evidence that they have continued past their passing. And so just take the information as it's given with love. We're not telling you you have to take it. But if there's anyone who has been coming here, there's anyone who has been coming here for a while or has seen a medium before and been given information that they could not take, but subsequently found out that it was true, hold on to that, and we might ask you, if you're brave enough, just to put your hand up and share it with us after the mediumship. So with that, Lawrence, if I can ask you to demonstrate mediumship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this term, mediumship is an expression that we use, but we've now become very accustomed. Excuse me while I get dressed. Flies are done up, that's the main thing, that was what I was worried about. A medium is that interface between the two realities. The medium is that person that is able to convey, to bring, not to bring, I don't bring messages. I don't go searching out there for spirit. You often hear people say, oh, I'm waiting for spirit to bring me something. You know, and I'm sorry, when I'm upstairs, if I hear that plea, I should be going, do it yourself. We are that interface, and this is not, again, a gift bestowed upon the few, thank you. This is an ability that we have naturally because we are spirit. We are spirit here in this earthly life, in this earthly form, in this physical body, in this physical world. Spirit resides within many worlds. And it's just being able to bring that connection, that understanding, and to share the evidence. And evidence I always emphasise, because we cannot make you believe. We will have different cases of the slightest little thing will cinch the deal. We will also have cases of, well, have they got a name? Have they got a national insurance number? What shoe size were they? What was their inside? And people wanting this endless litany of just information, and at the end of the day, they're still going to go, yeah, I'm still not sure. So, Mr. Chair, I have a gentleman stepping forward here. Thank you. And he is a very, as you can hear in my voice, this is his presence, this is his energy starting to bond with that of mine. I know I was very outspoken on things, but not in a demonstrative way. I was not one to suppress other people because it's my way or the highway. But I did have a very clear path in front of me. I took my I took my duties well. I do sense here there was a military connection too to this gentleman in the past, but this carried on into his civilian life as well. I feel here as a workplace there would be something to do with either plans or drawings or diagrams. Because as he takes me to this area, I know he feels very comfortable because he liked the order of things. Who would understand this gentleman, please? Take me to where you're going. One. Anybody else? Possibly there. Thank you. So if you both could listen here. You would understand the military connection with him. Yeah. You would understand this liking for order. And yes. Jenny, thank you so much, but as I am working, I do feel the energy has taken me to the lovely Stella. You would also understand there's a nice sense of humour with him. And also this sense of humour at times, probably best not shared. You understand that. He's laughing about that. This man is very aware of himself when he walks on the earth. Right, he is. He's very aware of himself, but he knows his vulnerabilities. He knows areas where he didn't feel confident. And when we had a lack of confidence, we didn't deal with things too well. It makes me, with family matters, there were times he would quite happily defer to partner because I can't be doing with that. He doesn't mean that nastily at all, but it's just not my area. Are there daughters associated with this man? A daughter. That's fine, that's fine. But I do feel drawn to where I'm talking about dealing with family members. I didn't relate too well with females. I don't mean that in a funny way, but I didn't understand their...
I'm not sure if you are with me.
Okay. Jenny, are you still listening?
Yes.
You are? And do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. Would you understand then, please, later in life that this man had a condition which would affected the mind and the focus, and there would be a wandering of the mind coming in?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Right. So thank you. And you understand when he talks about the ladies that it's a bit like a foreign country to him. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, he was very masculine.
Yeah. But he's a good man.
Yeah.
Is there like Rotary or round table links here as well, please?
I don't know.
Okay, I feel like there was a getting together. In fact, I feel probably my Masonic link coming in here. But I know I would have met up with people to do good in the community.
Yeah.
Because I'm practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you gave him something emotional to work out, he would struggle.
Yeah.
But if your fence had burned down, that's the man that you want. Yeah. Because he's talking at the moment, he's referring to you. Now, I know we've had the briefest of brief catch-ups of the Christmas period here. But he's talking here about things. I know we all go into the new year. How many people have got resolutions? How many people have dropped those resolutions already? I know we go into the new year of thinking this, but he brings with him an air of practicality. And he's talking about changes. We'll be looking at changes within your kitchen, please. Something to do with the layout or the format. Just a clean up, yeah, we could all do with that. But I feel it's a little bit more than that. I feel it's a bit more practical. It's looking at things and do I need them anymore and shifting things on. Because he expands on that thought and that energy into our personal lives as well. And he tells me here that you've been... The moments where you can find the quiet, he tells me, that you've just sat and you've reminisced over the year, not only of people that have gone before us now, but also people within our lives, and just thinking, do I need to continue that?
Yes.
Yes. And he's saying, yeah, that's good. That's good. He said, take advantage of this time, the quiet time. All right? But he said, take advantage of this time just to... I feel just a slight change in your path coming in for the new year. All right? And I know this is associated with your healing, because I know you as Jenny the healer. But I do feel a slight shift there and a slight change and a bit more empowerment with you in following your own thoughts. Yeah. And he said, that's good, that's good. He's really pleased. He is very, very pleased. And with that, he just steps back. All right, because that was very much him as well. Job done, that's it, off. Go and do my next job. So there are dogs associated with this man as well, because just as he's stepping back, I'm aware of terriers.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So it was just the one message I do, was it? No, obviously not. I don't know who's more nervous up here. I think it's Stephen, actually, feeling the energy.
I just realised I can't see the clock.
Oh, don't worry, I'll stop. Grace. Now I'm hearing the name of Grace being called. Who would understand grace in the spirit, please? Anybody? Nobody, right? So I've had this before, and this leads on to grace under pressure. I know I want to be talking to a daughter here today, and I know I want to be talking on behalf of it's either mother or grandmother energy coming in. But I know the lady that we need to talk with today. I know Christmas time induces all sorts of pressures and things. It's not to do with that. Christmas was added pressure. Because there's things going on in this lady's life, and it's ongoing. These are ongoing issues. You know those situations when you think, oh, for God's sake, when will this ever end? I feel this batting backwards and forwards with a body or a company and not getting the resolution going there. I know that's a bit vague and tenuous to start with. Does anybody understand this situation here? So you're coping with a longish term, one there. I do feel drawn here, one there. Okay, anybody else? I do feel drawn down here, but keep listening, please. So you would understand that there's a long ongoing issue going on. Yes? Yes? There is a connection here with insurances or policies? No? No. But insurances and policies are something you've been working on or giving thought to of late. Possibly?
Yeah.
Right. And mother in spirit. Yes. Now, I had that hesitancy of making the link with mother or grandmother. So, with this mother who's stepping forward, I'm biological mother. I gave my mother all the things that should be due as a child to their parent, but I do feel a slight emotional gap at times with mother. Yes. That was why I couldn't quite state categorically it was mum, because there was still just this little bit of a distance only for recognition. That is no longer there, please understand. All right, that is only for recognition. But where we talk about this ongoing issue, this involves family matters as well, please. Can you just say yes or thank you? Yes, wonderful. I like that. Could you just say yes? Every medium's dream. Even if you mean no, just say yes. Sorry, I digress. I'm getting told off. Mum was a bit of a stickler. Yes? Yes, because Mum's given me a bit of a rollicking here, and that's absolutely fine. I need that at times. But I've also got a laughter with her as well. She's telling me off, but there's this humour in there. And this ongoing, she's not opening it up what it is, and it may not be anybody else's business for why. But I know this is having quite the effect now. It's like the thing that I don't want to go to anymore, because every time I do, it drags me down. It just seems never ending, and I literally don't want to open post or emails and things like that in case something again pops up. Yes? Yes. She's just saying here, she's got lovely eyes, your mum.
Yes.
Lovely eyes, yeah? You two related? Should we introduce, should we do a quick family tree after the service, just in case? But she's just saying here, with this going on, it needs to take its time because of the other person involved, for their acceptance, because they don't accept something, and this is why it's dragged on. Do you understand that?
Yes, but not linked.
Okay, right. But I know there is this resilience from the parties involved, because they're not, it's not that they're not seeing things from our point of view, they're not seeing things from a clear point of view. It's like they're holding on to something in the past and they don't want to let go. You understand it that way? Wonderful. Not wonderful, but yes. But they're just saying about, your mum's saying here, it's going to take them time to accept. And once they start accepting, things will then move. But until they accept, things are going to get stuck. The energies aren't going to move, sorry. All right? So, can you change that, yes or no? No, she says. She said, but what you can change is how it affects you. By realising it's not you, it's this other person that needs to let go, that needs to move on. All right? And once that starts to happen, then we'll have movement. But in the meantime, try not to let it pull you down. All right? Because when I link into this energy, it's like I'm looking into a dark corner of a room. Do you know what I mean? It's just that every time my mind wants to go to it, it's like, oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. And when we're like that, we keep things going in a way, energetically. So it's very hard, what Mum's asking, but it is achievable. And in the words of, was it Elsa? Let it go, let it go. But sincerely, just realise and understand that the core energy in this is with the other person. And until they start to activate and move on and progress, things just aren't going to move. But what you can move is how you respond and how you deal with it. And I want to talk about Easter linked with Mum as well. Memories of Easter. I've got simnel cake. Mum bake. Yeah. That's all right, doesn't matter. But I know I've got a simnel cake here, and because I've got the significance of like the apostles, everything there is in a simnel cake, everything has got a message. And she's just drawing that simile to what she's just said about what's going on. All right, it's part of our progression to understand that other people don't move as fast as us. And do you know what? That's fine. All right, thank you.
Do you want one more?
Do I want one more? Do I want a quickie? That's what chair people normally say. You've got time for a quickie? And I sit there and go, oh, Victorin. Graham is being brought very much into my awareness. I feel Graham is here on earth, and I feel with Graham there is an air of concern being brought forward. Who would understand that, please? I'm still with you. Well, you're just greedy, aren't you? You understand that. Then let me briefly say with this Graham energy as well, we have the healing book there. I feel this is more for not physical conditions, but more emotional and mental conditions, and finding the right help is being talked about. All right? So you've got 2 jobs to do now. See? That teacher for being greedy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A teeny tiny bit of chalk here. And as I looked at that, I stood in front of a blackboard. So I've got this teaching, and this was actual teaching when I walked the earth. I feel a gentleman linked with this. I want to call him a wise old owl. I've got one of these wonderful people that were quiet. They got on with things, but they had a huge amount of knowledge. And it was there for the asking. He wasn't one to share, part of the problem with today's world is everybody thinks that everybody wants to hear their opinion. Well, quite frankly, no, we don't. I'd like to, if I want to hear your opinion, I'll ask you. And he's laughing with this because he says, that's very true. I feel I was teaching certainly in this professional manner, and I feel more teaching in universities. I know I've got an older age range of people sat here in front of me. And this is the old classic lecture rooms that were tiered, quarter circle and tiered going up. Who would understand this wonderful man, please?
Sorry.
That's all right, don't be sorry. Okay. So it's lovely, it shows the intelligence of spirit. They want to talk to you and they're just, yeah. You would understand with this man the great deal of knowledge there, but I'm not boastful, I'm not arrogant about it, I'm not egotistic. Certainly this man did not have any ego. He just quietly got on with things. But I want this, when I step into the lecturing energy with him, he really held the room. His presence there was, wow.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. Well, let me assure you, he absolutely rocked it. When he stepped up, that was him. Yeah? And he engaged. And he did a lot of work that people weren't aware of because it wasn't just the formal teaching. He did an awful lot of time with students doing not regular private tuition, but he always found the time for people. And this was also in his personal life, that he would find the time to talk. And when we move into that era of his personal life, I've just got this very gentle, sedate. You know what? Walking into this gentleman's home, is a bit like walking into a healing sanctuary, because there's this calmness about him. You understand that?
Yeah, it was quiet.
Yeah, there's just this wonderful calmness. And I know I have books for reference, but I also have books for enjoyment and to take my mind away. I've seen Robert Louis Stevenson books, like Treasure Island. So there would be books there of stories that he could just go with, because he's got a wonderful imagination. He can visualise his imagination. But also linked with this firm, structured lecturer type.
Yeah, at both sides.
And again, we're talking here with you. This is very interesting. Thank you. We're talking here with you today. Again, it's just reinforcing that first message about it's not all work. All right, it's work and play in balance. But again, it's about using the imagination. Now, earlier they were saying about trusting yourself more. Yeah. And this is actually reinforcing that, yeah, of using more of your creativity, that not everything's in black and white as it's written,
Yeah.
all right? There's lines between the lines for a reason to write your own notes. How wonderful. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you. Well, a few remarks I'd like to make. You can see, when, especially with that first message, you can see how Lawrence felt the energy of the loved one come in. And I don't know about you, but the minute he started talking about chalk on the board, you can tell he was seeing it, but I actually felt that chalk on the board. Do you know what I mean? But it just shows that the presence of spirit was with the medium. He was using his clairvoyance, clairaudience as well. He could sort of feel, hear and see the spirit. You could probably taste and touch as well, in a sense. So anyone who received a message, if there's any pieces of information that maybe you can expand on. I don't know if there's anyone here who was thinking earlier on when I asked, if you've had any experiences where you've been given information you couldn't quite take off the platform, and then you've subsequently gone on to found out that it was true, or you've been given a guide, and guides aren't necessarily evidential on the first message, but then you get it from another medium and another medium, and it becomes evidential. So would anyone like to participate and share one of their experiences? Yeah.
He's a very good friend of ours. And the other one was my mum. I lost her earlier this year.
What I've noticed especially is they were giving information showing knowledge of things that have happened since they passed. And that's the real critical piece of information. So it's lovely to see in every single message they demonstrated that they are with us and they care about us.
And she actually passed on Easter, and she was religious, she was Catholic, so she began to adopt them.
Oh, right, wonderful. Yeah, see, it's the way they put these words in your mind, and you don't know why you're using the language, but then it's nice to get that feedback and understand why. So did I see your hand going up there?
Yeah, you did. From our earlier conversation, wasn't it? So what sparked me was from guides and not people. Although you did say, probably about a year ago when I was here, you said it looked just like me, didn't you? But then I mentioned to you that Elaine Bevan came through with very similar stuff, which is telling me to study and to
Yeah.
read. So very, very strong messages about the same thing, but no idea where that message is coming from.
Well, it just shows, they're there to guide us, and our loved ones don't necessarily have the answers to the universe. They don't suddenly become enlightened, but they demonstrate this relationship that they shared with you on earth, and that it continues after death. And that should show that you're going to continue after death as well. Is there anyone else who'd like to make a comment, participate?
I do. So I had a really good one in here when I came to the church on my own for the very first time, and also at that side of the room. And I don't know if you remember, it was when you weren't very well, Laurie, and you had,
Somebody.
this lady here was on the stage with you. My mind's gone blank, so I'm trying to think of
Probably Mariella.
Mariella, sorry, I'm trying to think of what else. And you were talking to me about a gentleman that was a grandfather figure to me, and you explained all about his connection to the RNLI, how he liked boats, and he was a docker, and I had no idea what you're on about. And I was saying no, no, and you were adamant it was with me. And in the end, I think we cut the service short because things kind of run dry. I went off, month went by, and I managed to speak to who is my uncle, who I've only ever spoke to him over the phone. And he explained to me that all of the things that he said, that was my granddad. And there's no doubt about it. It was a pure connection, and I felt it as well. It felt like it was for me, but I had no idea that I could confirm the evidence that you were giving me. So I went away and the homework rung true.
Can I pick up just something there?
Yeah.
You just said something really crucial there. You felt it was for you.
There was a connection.
This is something I think we neglect within spiritualism, is the experience. When we experience, who's had healing today? Did you feel something? So that's the experience part. The same with our evidential mediumship. The whole idea with the evidential mediumship is the sitter will become aware of that communicator and experience that. And I think that's something that we neglect often within the movement, because it's not so much what is said, it's how we feel. They say that, something like 95% of communication is non-verbal.
It's
93.
I like it.
It's going down. So not only did you shut down the service early now you want to welcome. Welcome. There are many churches in the area. So I just, because that's something we neglect, it's that experience. Because that's what we take away with us. The experience, that connection, that healing. And we should never neglect that.
Well, I think that's really fascinating, because this is my favourite subjects in the world. I think about nothing else. And to be able to share these anecdotes, they might not be evidence to everyone else here, but they're evidence to the person that received it. We have these synchronicities that happen in life. And when you hear someone speak about these amazing, miraculous synchronicities, it might be hard to believe them until you've had it yourself. Then when you hear someone talking about these amazing experiences, you can understand it because you've been through it yourself. And it's just so nice to be able to share just these little pieces of information after the mediumship. So it's not lost on the service, we can all share it together. So with that, I'm going to ask, we're going to have the philosophy after a hymn. So if Laurie can help me with the music. And there's going to be a collection as well, so while you sit there, someone will be walking around taking the collection.
Your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. The superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, silver lining. still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying, when it gets frightening. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life sure would be sweeter if everybody would. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the good. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Oh, well done, everyone. And thank you, Laurie, for bringing some sunshine into January. 6 weeks of misery. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask Lawrence to give his address.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And when we say that, I'm not picking holes, you understand this. We commonly hear, oh, Lawrence is going to give his address. Lawrence is working in conjunction with a team of people in spirit who bring through the inspirational mediumship. Earlier you saw what we call evidential mediumship, where that connection is made. We have our inspirational mediumship music. I'm hooked on that song. Inspirational mediumship to give thought, to give consideration, to inspire, to uplift. We have our healing mediums, and everybody who's here today, and thank you, who work to deliver healing. So that term mediumship is a generic term. And everything we do within spiritualism bears investigation. You are not told you need to believe something because you need to believe. Because that's the way it is. Because it's written in this book that is 2,500 years ago. So who are you to say anything about this. Religion. We are a religion. Spiritualism is a recognised religion. This needed to come about to enable us to have buildings such as this, which are recognised churches. Because you cannot have a church unless the religion, denomination, way of following that you observe is recognised by the state. Now I can hear quite a few of the rebels in the room going, it's all a method of control. It's a method of regulation. Registered churches, registered places of worships. We are enabled now to conduct marriages, to conduct naming ceremonies, baptisms, and the other end of life ceremonies. So religion does have a place within our world. But in today's world, what place does it have? Now it's very easy to focus, isn't not, on the failures. When we start talking about, oh yes, but you know what goes on here, you know what goes on there. And we bring that focus to bear on one subject, and we're very good at doing this. So when we talk about religion, I have it quite often. I run a church. Oh, you wouldn't catch me in a church. Oh, why? Would you burst into flames? People have this dismissiveness of things, and this bears out further than the word religion. Who watches the news? Probably easier to say who doesn't watch the news. We understand why. We understand. Okay. We understand why. I was the same. In those early days of the lockdowns, every time I watched the news, I felt so miserable. I just thought, no, I'm not watching that. We have pushed that to one side, and understandably so, and without going into the debates about it. But what are we replacing it with? I have bad news for you. Facebook is not a recognised news source. Please understand that. It's a point of information. It's a point where we can share. And we can tell everybody that we were in Curry's, weren't we, darling? Raging about our cooker. Oh. And we didn't say nice things about Curry's.
Argos, actually.
Argos, all right, there we go. You show me age. But where do we find our information? Where do we find our resource? You know, we had a very common practice, and it's a word that we don't hear so often today. When we were in circles, we were taught to discern the Spirit. Yes? Discern the Spirit. That was one of the fundamental lessons when we came into spiritualism, when we came into a circle environment, which is where we follow our own personal growth, our own personal potential. Just because you're dead, you don't become an angel. Sorry. You don't suddenly grow wings and become this enlightened being. Where the tree falleth, there it shall lay. But the advancement, the progression, the potential for enlightenment is there. So we should bring this discernment into our own lives. And we will see and we will hear things. My goodness, I had a very bad chest recently, and I had 101. I've got to take this, I've got to do that, I've got to stand on my head, I've got to put my feet out the window in a lightning storm. And I know it's all very well meaning. At the end of the day, do you know what cured it? Malt whiskey. I sat there one night and I thought, it. And the next morning, I didn't have a cough. Hurrah! But it is about discernment. And within spiritualism, within our religion, our philosophy, our way of life, however we term that, we have access You know, this rooting around in the world of spirit isn't just to find Aunt Bet and what she did with her drawers in the Second World War. There is the sum knowledge of everything that was, that is, that ever could be. There is a world accessible, of potential. And yes, we'd all like to go out, walk out into the world and change it overnight. We would all love to do that. But change comes from within. And when we start to introduce change into our world, we are changing the world. Because we start to view the world differently. We start to drop the fear, the anguish, the hatred, the separation, the apartheid, the racism, whatever. Our world is just littered, is it not, with tools to separate us, to keep one view apart from another, to keep one view higher than the other. And I say this with confidence because I am XYZ. But at the end of the day, it's what happens here. This is where the truth lies. This is where the truth resides. This is where the truth is found. And we look around this world, and it's not a world for separatism. It's not a world for war, for hatred, for whatever. It's a world of beauty. It's a world of love. And it's a world of potential. So I'll leave you with these words. Look for the potential. And whatever that little change is, doesn't matter how small or insignificant it feels to you, it is progress. But it's based on discernment. It's not chasing after things. It's starting to unveil things from yourself. Thank you.
On your behalf, I'd like to thank Lawrence for his address and his service this morning, and also again for being playful with spiritualism and offering the opportunity to try something, even though it's the same content, just in a different order. We hope that it's brought out a little bit more and enhanced the mediumship a little bit. And it'd be nice, maybe if I should be so bold as to suggest, that we have a service just of testimonials one day, where everyone gets to share their experiences with each other, and so that the amazing, miraculous experiences we have are not lost on everyone else, that we can all share and understand and believe each other when we come out with these amazing things. So with that, I'd like to thank Lawrence and ask him to close us in prayer.
Thank you. So once more, dear friends, just go into that space, that openness, that plane of vastness, and give thanks for everything that we have had, everything that we do have within our lives. Let us focus not on the challenges, but let us focus on the blessings, and to share those blessings as we walk through this world of man. Amen.
Amen.
Right, notices? What's coming up? Who's on? What
Uh,
wonderful medium have we got next week?
We've got quiet January. Although we may be not open so much to the public, does not mean that the workload has disappeared. In fact, it's increased. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but for us to share and be part of, next Sunday we have the lovely Elaine Bevan,
Oh,
and she will be giving a divine service in its familiar format. There's no newsletters at the moment. There is a reason, because we're in January, we're getting affected, as with other places, of ill health and changes. So I'd ask, if you need to know what's going on, social media, if you do that. If not, go to the website, because I can change the website. I can't come round your homes and cross out a medium's name on your notice board and write in the medium, okay? But I also not very quickly, I don't want to brush this aside. Christmas. Thank you. What an amazing day.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
There we go. And that was all made possible by you wonderful people who donated, not only here at home, but also abroad, those people watching us in other countries. Thank you. We had a total of 37 meals go out. That was between people here and people who are unable to come out, but people came and got that food. The wonderful volunteers. Did you have fun, dear?
Yes, I did. It was a lovely day.
Brilliant. That was so good. That was so wonderful. And to me, this is what a church is about. I'm not saying on the 12th of January, hey, we're shut now, we'll see you all in the new year. That never sits with me. But that could never have happened without your support, your generosity, your thoughts, your energy. And I know everybody that came here didn't have a day sat on their own. How wonderful. What a gift. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Make sure you all go home safely, and thank you for coming this morning, and thank you to everyone who joined in online as well. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, yeah, the time just disappeared.
Because I'm thinking, Christ, how are we going to fill an hour? And I went, oh my God, it's 14. How are we going to get all this
Well,
in?
I thought, I was going to let you stop on the second one, and I could feel the communicating with you, if you know what I mean.